Welcome to What the Co-Parent, the podcast where exes turn allies and co-parenting gets real and a little fun. The two of us, Greg and Jen, are here to share our wins, our mistakes, and our lessons learned to help you navigate the ups and downs of co-parenting with a little less stress and a whole lot more humor. Let's dive in. Welcome to What the Co-Parent. I'm Jen.
I'm Greg.
And we are separated besties, I guess, hey?
Best way to put it.
Yeah. We're here today to talk to you about co-parenting through the holidays. That's something we've been separated for, a year and a half now? Ish?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were married for about, 7 years? You have a better memory than me.
8 years.
8 years beforehand. I do notice when he cuts his hair, okay? But, yeah, we were married for 8 years and separated for about a year and a half, and we've been co-parenting fabulously for almost exactly a year.
Yeah, it was 6 months of displeasure, if you will.
And we expect that everyone will have a period like that, but we hope that everyone can move out of that into the place similar or close to, or have a piece of what Greg and I have today with the friendship that we have. So we're here to tell you a little bit about how we've navigated the holidays and how last Christmas was the pivotal kind of event, I guess, for us. Of just, we really knew that we needed to reestablish our friendship and our connection then. Not just for the kids, but for us. Like, we needed that to co-parent together.
They were asking a lot of questions on where Christmas was going to be and who was going to do Christmas. And the only answer that was acceptable was we're doing Christmas as a family. So
yeah. And I was a little nervous about it at first because you had the way the schedule worked with the parenting was it was going to be at your place. Mm-hmm. So I ended up staying over there. It went really smoothly, and I don't ever want to do it any differently again.
And I think a big point of that too was we weren't rushing around to go to your parents and then my parents and then my aunt and uncles and then your sisters and my brothers, and we just let go of all the run around and focused on making sure the kids had their family day.
Greg and I have found a really good rhythm that we'd like to share.
We're going to share how to make the holidays a little more simple, a little more fun, and more focused on the kids. No one should miss out on those magical moments that are brought with Christmas. And the holidays.
Yeah. Christmas, we're talking about Christmas today, but it's all sorts of holidays.
It's because it is Christmas.
Yeah, because Christmas is like days away.
Yeah.
But Halloween, that's a big one for our family, right? That's the first holiday we tried together when we were separated.
And it was a bust.
Yeah. It was okay till the end, because I was a bitch face.
Well, no. It was a bust because I was determined to have it at my place. Mm-hmm. And I had no interest in doing anything with you guys for Halloween. So, and by you guys, I mean you and your family.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it with the kids, so I had my 2 hours with the kids and you. Mm-hmm. And then you guys went and did yours. Mm-hmm. But that really wasn't fun for the girls because we were walking around, 10 feet apart.
Yeah.
You maybe had Ryan and I had the two littles, and there was no family connection to it at all. Yeah. It was just a couple people running down the street with these young girls.
That's a really good point. But that was our first attempt at a holiday together, and then our second was Christmas, but we rocked that.
We did.
Yeah.
We set it all aside, and we made a point that it was for the kids, and what we felt didn't matter. And by the end of it, we felt good about it. And, well, on blossomed this amazing friendship and fantastic co-parenting.
So some things that we're going to cover today is balancing your schedules and your traditions, your expectations. I think when we were together, when we were married, we had a lot of pressure on us about family, extended family expectations. And at first I was a bit resistant to Greg's kibosh of that, but it really did create a lot of peace and mellow in our family traditions, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can't let the family you come from interfere with the family you create. There is a balance to, so that they all mesh together.
Yeah. And the emotional aspect, like neither of us wanted to miss out on last Christmas, and our kids didn't want to miss out on us either. And I'm sure if you're listening, you either are already a co-parent or you feel like you may be getting to that point, and you don't want to miss out on those times with your kids either. Yeah, so we've been there. We had that awkward tension with Halloween and the scheduling battles, but we realized really early on with Halloween that it's not about us, it's about them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids are number one.
Yeah. So Christmas, last year, we had been separated for about 6 months at the time. Had our shitty Halloween. It wasn't shitty, it was just we had some riffs, right? The kids, we did okay. Yeah. But that was kind of like we knew we needed to do better. So we kind of stepped back from each other for a bit and then came back in and right before Christmas had a conversation about how we wanted, well, you initiated the conversation of how we should do Christmas together.
Yeah. Yeah, I just made it, I don't want to say I put my foot down or I made it my point being the only point, but I definitely made sure you heard my idea of it. And you were accepting of it and you wanted to try it, and we did, and it worked out fantastically. Now, this wasn't exactly my idea either. This is just something I picked up from other people, other professional relationship counselors, if you will. Okay.
Okay. And when we were first separating, like even doing Halloween together, I had a really hard time wrapping my mind around, okay, well, we're separating. How are we going to do these things together that mean so much to both of us and the kids, and how are we going to make that go smoothly? And Greg presented a really good idea last Christmas that I don't think we will ever do differently.
Yeah, it was to spend Christmas at one of our houses and do it strictly for the children. So they're in no rush to open their gifts. It's their morning.
It's their whole day, really.
Really.
Right? Yeah.
And then anybody that wanted to come in and spend it with them was more than welcome. Our door was open to everybody. You know, we didn't put no schedules down or anything like that. You know, we were separating. Her mom and dad and my grandparents were not separating. So if they showed up at the same time, no big deal.
Yeah. That's a good point. Like sometimes other family members can have tensions, so you need to make sure those are checked, I guess, in their own way. But we checked our tensions, and I think once our family saw us checking our own tensions, they checked theirs. Sure. Yeah. Like it didn't take much. Just like as soon as they knew we were okay together for the kids, they were totally okay with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Once we decided we're going to give that first Christmas a try, it was his scheduled week last Christmas at his place. We decided we're going to do Christmas there together. I don't think we'd ever go back to doing it any differently. Like birthdays, all the holidays, we want to experience with our kids together. We don't have to split that time for the kids. We don't have to split it for us. We all get to enjoy in the magic.
Yeah, some holidays are floaters.
Yeah.
You know, like there's Easter and what's that other one there? Like Valentine's and all that jazz. Those holidays, they don't need to be set in stone at somebody's house, because you might go to auntie's.
Yeah.
But Christmas, birthdays, they should be really set in stone on where the hub of that is going to start.
Why does this work for us? Yeah.
I think it works for us mostly because it gets rid of a lot of the chaos.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much chaos when you wake up and you're trying to get those kids to rush and get through the fun that they're trying to have. When what's fun? Fun's not rushed. You know, you see the kids having fun, and you're like, okay, next project, but they haven't even come close to completing it. A lot of kids are pushed through that to go from one spot to the next, and as soon as we realized that and hammered down, so that they could just have their own fun, and anyone that wants to join them in on that fun, the door's open.
Yeah, it took, I think, honestly, last Christmas, separated was one of our most peaceful Christmases on record.
Absolutely.
Except for maybe that one in Lower West with Ryan. That was probably one of our most magical ones, where she was opening up, like, orange, because we wrap her presents in, like, orange boxes or, like, Cheerio boxes, and she would just, like, everything. Cheerios! I love Cheerios! Remember that?
I do.
Yeah. Well, in the last couple of years, we're a little turbulent through, like, COVID and our house fire and everything, so the girls, like the two younger ones, haven't really gotten to experience as much magic.
A true Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, like a true... They experienced a lot of cabin fever Christmas, if you will. Yeah. So everyone was pretty well sick and tired of each other, so no matter how many presents you tossed in front of them, they were done, man.
Yeah.
Bringing it back. That's what we're doing. Got to bring back the original magic of Christmas. Get those chestnuts roasting on the fire.
Like, it keeps the focus on the kids. So I think even if whether you're co-parenting or whether you're still in a traditional relationship with your children, just simplifying Christmas in this way is amazing. I wish we had done it while we were in one household. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Reduces a lot of stress. No one feels like they're missing out.
So building new traditions, that's a good point to bring up here. Mm-hmm. So you don't need to have it as the old way, how it always has been. It can be what you want it to be. It can be new. It can be exciting. It could be this or that. It does not have to be that old, this is how it's done no matter what. You know?
Yeah. So one of the biggest points that we want to drive home in nearly every episode and every blog post we put out there is it's not an ending, it's a new beginning. So if you're just in the middle of a separation, or you've been separated for a while and you're starting this co-parenting journey, for us, especially for me, I felt like it was a huge end, but really it was one of the best beginnings we've had. We've had a better friendship than we've had in years, and yeah, it's not just an ending, it's a new beginning. So beginning with those new traditions is really valuable, and I feel like I'm really rambling on that now.
That's a really good point. I was just going to elaborate on it a little bit. You don't even need to think of it as a new chapter in your life, if that's the way you want to think of it. You could be opening a whole new book, right, and go from there. Yeah. Maybe it's one of them old Goosebumps books where you choose your own ending.
I love that.
Turn to page 76.
Oh my gosh. So, some major tips we want to hit some key points here on what we do to make sure that we manage not just Christmas, but birthdays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, any big holidays. We have 3 kids, so that's 3 freaking birthdays a year. So here are the things we do, and even family vacations. This year we did it to make sure they go smoothly and nobody misses out on anything.
Planning early, that is, in my opinion, critical. The sooner you start planning, the smoother things can go. Give yourself the time. Create that time for yourself. You know, if you know you have a hard time getting yourself ready to go, maybe the day before you hammer out the hardest parts. Maybe 2 months down the road you start planning ahead for these big events. Like the family reunion, we usually plan a year in advance. You know, so the next family reunion's not for 3 years or something like that. So we will start planning on how we're going to do that and how we're going to juggle things around a year prior. That seems excessive, but think of how much time that gives you to find out these details, and think of how smooth that plan goes at that point.
Planning ahead. With Christmas too, we know our strengths and weaknesses. So he'll plan like the logistics, and then I go do all the detailing.
Yeah.
Focusing on the kids again, like we say this over and over again, focus on the kids, but really seriously, focus on the kids. Set your shit aside. It's about making their holiday happy, their adventure happy, keeping the magic there for them.
This is a truly important practice for you to do, because they're going to have huge moments throughout their life that only happen once, and you need to be able to share those moments with them. It is borderline one of the most important things you could do for your children, is to be there when they look up for that approval from their parent, and they see you there cheering them on. That small moment, in fact, is a huge moment.
And when both of us can be there for so many more of these moments,
absolutely,
it makes a huge impact.
Absolutely. When they see both their parents there cheering them on, it's strength. I mean, granted, both of you are not always going to be there, but to see you there, the two of you there on the odd one, that's a pretty big minute.
Yeah. I think even in a traditional parenting relationship, not everyone can be there all the time.
100%.
But even as we were separated, the co-parenting situation, ensuring that you can both continue to be there as much as possible is huge.
Yeah.
And making sure nobody misses out on anything.
Yeah.
Birthdays.
Yep. Nothing's perfect, so don't focus on perfection. Just let it go. Mm-hmm. There's going to be sloppiness, and that sloppiness can be fun. Think of a sloppy Joe. That's a messy damn food, but it is so much fun.
Delicious. And be flexible and creative. Really, holidays can be celebrated on any day. The schedule doesn't line up maybe for work or for living apart or however. You can have your Christmas on the 26th. It's about keeping that magic. We've even done that, like, I think, couple of Ryan's first Christmases. He was working over the holidays, so we just told her, we emailed Santa and said, we can all be together on this day. So we asked Santa if he could just scooch it for us, and we did it. So just be creative, be flexible.
Yeah. It's not a set in stone not as set in stone as you think it is.
We know that not every co-parenting or even every traditional parenting situation can allow for shared holidays, but when they can and if they can, make it work.
Each unique co-parenting situation will have its own set of challenges. It's up to you to know how, or to figure out how to overcome them, and we're just here to help provide small tips, maybe a little crutch to lean on.
So even if you can't spend the holidays together all the time, every birthday together, every Christmas, every Halloween, we don't get to do that either. But making sure that it's quality over quantity, making sure that you have those moments when you're together as co-parents with your children. You're not focusing on the crap, you're not throwing monkey poop, you're not thinking about the past, you're focusing on that moment with the kids to make it special for them.
That's right. As long as the kids are having fun, it really doesn't matter what else is going on around here.
Okay, so I'll do a quick recap on the key points we covered. Plan early is one of Greg's. He's our planner. Focusing on the kids. Remember, again, I know I just said this, but it's about them. It's not about you and your ex and your past and the crap. Focus on them and making sure that they have the best experience and you guys both get to enjoy it. Find a way to share the big moments. Even if you guys can't spend like Christmas Day together, make time for a video call. Set up a Zoom so that your co-parent can see the kids opening their presents or something. Be creative, be flexible. Christmas Day doesn't have to happen on Christmas Day. More often than not, birthday parties don't happen on the actual birthday, right? So let go of the perfection and focus on the connection and the quality over the quantity.
Thanks for joining us today.
We'll see you next time. If you like this episode, make sure you hit subscribe and share it with someone who needs a little holiday peace. And don't forget, join our What the Co-Parent Insider Circle on Facebook for more tips and stories from parents just like you. Thanks for tuning in to What the Co-Parent. We hope today's episode gave you a little inspiration, some helpful tips, and at least a laugh or two. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and join our Facebook group to keep the conversation going. Because co-parenting is better when we do it together. See you next time.
Why did the banker not get a second date?
Why?
She lost interest.